Hi guys, so today I'm going to do my best to show you how I did these milk bath nails, and I did it with a little different twist than some of the other ones. So with mine, I did not have the big flat flowers, and I wanted that look, so this is what I had. And so there was a lot of like baby's breath and dried status, you know, stuff like those kind of flowers. So here's some yellow and some purple and baby's breath and some other little ones, little flowers down there like, let me see if I can find, here we go, like these. So there's, you know, different colors of these in there too, but they didn't have any big flat ones. So what I did was, I have a Clearjelly stamper plate that had a nice flower on here. So this is CJS-37, and this flower right here worked perfect. So that's the base, blank space. This is the detail over it. Here's the leaf, the detail leaf. Or no, sorry, wait a minute. Nope, I used this one, that's right. So I used that little blank there, and then that's the detail leaf over there. You could do the smaller flowers if you wanted to, but I just did 2 of these big ones and a couple of these leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So I started out, and I'm doing it with gel. I also did it with regular polish, but for this, we're doing gel. I already did 1 coat of this True Gel Marshmallow, but you could do any kind of white. You know, if it's a little softer, that's good. 1 coat, that's it. You don't want it too solid, you know, on there. And then went ahead and I'm going to use Maniology and Born Pretty colors. So I'm going to start out with this one here, and I will put the names of everything below, you know, that I'm using, all the products and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do this blank space down here, the flower, you know, the base of it. I'm using my Big Bling Clearjelly stamper and Maniology scraper. So just roll, take off what you don't want, you know, just like normally when you stamp. Okay, so there's the flower. So I'm just going to put this one on top, like that. Okay, there we go. And then I did another one, you know, below it in a little bit different pink color, a little cooler color, but you could do whatever colors you want. You could do a lavender one if you wanted to, blue, yellow, whatever. But this is what I did, just a different shade of pink, just a cooler shade of pink. So take off what I don't want. There we go. So there's the flower. We're going to put that one just below the other one. You know, I changed the angle a little bit on it so it looks a little more interesting. There we go. Okay, so a little variation in color. And then next we're going to do our leaves, and this one I'm using the Born Pretty, and like I said, it's just this single, wait a minute, I'll show you this way. So right there, that little blank space here, and then the detail one next to it. So we're going to do those and just do a couple on here of those. Place them wherever you want. So scrape, roll, and there's the leaf by itself. And I'm going to put it probably just, I'm going to do one up like that. Okay, like that. Hopefully you can see that. Now I'm going to do another one. So just do 2 or 3. You know, I always like things in odd numbers a little bit better because it makes it more interesting. But, you know, 2 is fine. It takes less time, too. Because I think the trickiest part of this is, you know, getting those dried flowers on and getting them to lay down right. So let's see. I'm going to do it this way. So I just put one in the middle, like that. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to do one more on the bottom. Same thing. Just doing our base right now. And I'm going to put that one probably like that. Okay, so now we got 3 on there. So now you can just do it like that and do your dried flowers over that, or you can use the details if you want. I'm going to use the details. I did use the details. So that means I'm going to use contrasting colors. So on the leaves, I'm just doing a light mint green over this little detail, you know, layer that goes with it, that goes over that leaf, and it's kind of hard to see, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but hopefully it doesn't look like much, but it gives it a teeny bit of detail. Like I said, you can skip this part if you want to. So there's that. So right down there, a little bit of detail on it, and I'm just gonna, you know, try and quickly do the other couple. So let me see if I can just get them on, and so we can get to the next part. Okay, and okay, so there we've got the detail on all the little green leaves. So now we just got to do the detail on the flowers. So we go back to those same colors on the flowers, and all I'm going to do is use, so the top one was kind of more of a coral pink, a warmer pink, and the bottom was more of a kind of lavender pink. So I'm going to use the opposite color to do the detail outline for each flower. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll start with this one actually and do the top one, because this is the opposite color for that. So this is pretty fine lines on this, so if you have a problem getting it all, which actually I just did, I think it works better when your polish is a little bit on the thinner side when they're super fine lines, but that's okay. You can do it with, you know, mine's not, and it's not one to pick up all the way, so that's okay. I'm just going to get what I can get, because we're going to be putting dried flowers. We're going to be putting dried flowers over this. I think I'm going to go ahead and clean that off a little bit too. Let me see if that helps. And sometimes on the fine lines, they're a little more finicky, and one of the things that sometimes helps is to make sure they're clean. So I'm going to do this again. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. And we're going to do this on the top one, and we're just going to line it up, and hopefully you can see it. There it is. Just gives it a little bit of detail. And then the bottom one is already done, so those are ready to go. So now all we do is I'm using the same brand by Easy Flow, True Gel, and this one's called Mirage though, and this one's kind of like a sheerish, you know, kind of an opal-y, you know, white. So I'm going to go ahead and do a coat of this over it, and if you were doing regular polishes, like I did on one of my sample nails, you just, you know, do the regular polish that's in this pearl kind of color, like that. Of course this is gel, so we're going to have to set it under the light, and get it off of here, set it over here for 30 seconds. We'll go ahead and set that. In the meantime, this is one that's already been set. It's just the one coat over it, and it's, you know, sticky still inhibition layer on. You don't want to take that off. So like this one we just put in the light, when it's set, we don't want to take the sticky off. We want to leave it on because we're going to put our dry flowers on that. So I'm going to move this out of the way, our stamping plate, and move these dried flowers over here. And you're going to want them pulled apart, you know, as much as possible. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see these. I'm really sorry, but I don't know. I'll try and do it that way. See? So I'm going to use some purple, some of the yellow, but what you want to do is you want to take off this stem. So when they start out and you pull them out of the big clump, it's going to have a browned See that brown stem? You want to cut that off because otherwise they definitely will not lay down. So you cut off the brown stem, you know, for those kinds of flowers. And here again, the purple, again, it's, oops, let me see. Let me grab, you're going to want some tweezers too. Here we go. So if you can see that, we want to cut all that brown part off. And these kind of flowers, these satis flowers, they kind of go in a circle, like they're, I'll show you. Okay, so it's cut off now. And so now you just want to kind of spread this, you know, get it as thin, spread it out as much as you can, as carefully as you can, because they'll just kind of break apart real easy. But you want smaller pieces because it's better for when you're putting it on your, and you know, your nail, because you want them to lay really flat as possible. Otherwise, it's gonna be a lot harder to do. So these kind of flowers here, let me see. So like these little dried flowers here, the whole flowers, I just, you know, pulled them out so that they're individual little petals. Like, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a, oh my gosh, sorry, this is kind of tough. There's one little individual petal. And so that's what we're going to put on our nail. But for right now, we're going to start out and we're going to put some yellow. I'm going to take a little piece of this yellow and I'm just going to kind of lay it wherever I want to, wherever you want to. And with the gel, the nice thing is you can kind of press it in to that sticky, tacky layer. So, like that. And then I'm going to take some purple. I'll take a piece of purple. I'm going to put that up there. And I'm going to press it in. Now, you know, if it's sticking to your finger, use your tweezers. You can try pressing it down. You know, it helping you that way. You have to be careful not to be too heavy-handed though, which I kind of tend to get. If it tends to be curved the other way, then just, you know, flip it over and turn it the way that you want. Yeah, this is the tricky part, and hopefully you have patience to do it. So I think we lost our little yellow flower. I think it fell off. I knew this was going to be Murphy's Law as soon as I started trying to video. So I hope you'll be able to see some of this at least. Okay. Did we lose our little purple flower? I think we did. These are just not wanting to cooperate. But, you know, maybe it's because this was setting for a little while too. That might be why it might not be as tacky as normally, because I didn't have any problem with it. Any of the other ones, as far as, you know, getting it to lay down better than this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of those little flowers, the little petals. I'm going to put that one right there, like there. You can see them, I hope. You know, and just kind of pat them down the best you can. And then, you know, put as many on here as you want to. I'm going to put another yellow one over here. Now, when I first did this, one of my first sample nails, I kind of went overboard, and I think it was too much. And the other thing I figured out is I like it better when when you don't make it too milky, because I like to be able to see the colors of the flowers. Okay, so there we go. We got enough flowers on there, I think. And then I'm just going to put a coat of this Mirage on. Now you're going to have to you can't be heavy-handed or this will just all come off. So you're going to have to just kind of gently brush, dab over these. And these little petals especially are just kind of get, you know, you can't have your brush too dry either. You got to have, you know, fairly generous amount on here. And then just kind of dab at these. You're just trying to get it so that you've got enough gel on there. You can get them as flat as you possibly can. Because the flatter you get them, the better, because when you go to file, you know, that way you don't want to file all your flowers petals off. Okay, so let me do it a little bit more that way, a little more that way. And if you see that you don't have, you know, have your gel in a spot like where your big flowers are or something, just kind of dab some there. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to do another coat. Okay, so that's good enough. We're going to set that for 30 seconds and take out our other one. So we'll set that in there. That was our first, one after we stamped it. Now, if you were doing regular polish, so this one by Nina is a really good one. It's Molten Opal. It works perfect for that same opal base that you would put over, after you stamped. You would put this over, and then to put on your flowers, if you used regular polish, you would want to use LA Colors base coat, top coat. Put a coat of this over, let it dry just a tacky, so it'd be tacky just like your gel, sticky layer is. And then you put your same thing as I just did, put those flower petals on there. And so we're setting that there, and when it comes out, we're going to put a second coat over it. So actually it's done, so we'll do that right now. All right, and we're doing the same thing, Mirage, Easy Flow True Gels Mirage. And we're just, going to put a generous layer over this, and we want it over everything now that those are stuck on there. Because you're going to have to, buff and see the things that are kind of pokey up. You're going to have to, gently file over those because you don't want anything sticking up. You want it as smooth as, as you want it. And so anyway, we'll just go ahead. I've got a generous amount on here. We're going to go ahead and set it another 30 seconds. Now, you could, you'd have less, sticking up as far as, if you used a builder gel, but I didn't want them too thick. That's the only thing. So I was able to do it fine. These I just used the gel polish, and I was able to, they're just fine. And if you, go to file it, if there's a little bit that's, wouldn't lay down enough, and you have to file a little bit of your flower off, don't worry about it. It's going to be really pretty because you're going to put some more milk, that Mirage over it, or this Molten Opal, or some kind of opal-y, sheerish white polish over it. So it's going to, still look really, really pretty. You don't want to file it off if you can help it, but if you do, need to a little bit, don't worry about it. So there's that, and so now you just take off the inhibition layer, which we're going to go to that right there. And so I've already taken it off of this just with alcohol. And so you have some that are still sticking up there, so you're going to have to file them. And so we're just going to gently, you don't want to do it too roughly. You just want, kind of a fine to medium, file, or fine even. And we're just going to, if there's anything, sticking up, just gently kind of, file over that. Like that. Don't be too rough. Just, get it smooth as you, until you're happy with it. But you don't want to file your whole flower off if you can help it. Okay, I think we're pretty good. And then all we do is we put another coat of this over it. Like that, and see how it gives it that real pretty kind of milky look. And I don't put any more than that. So altogether, I put 3, of the Mirage coats of the opal white on altogether. And that's it on that. That was the third one we just put on. So then on the next, the very last coat, which is what's going to go over this, because this one's already filed. It already has its third coat of Mirage on it. And now the last coat that we're going to put on it is we're going to put a matte polish over it. So if this was regular polish, you want to make sure it dries really good and just put a matte top coat over it. Then you're done. On this one, it's gel, so we're going to do True Gel Easy Flows Matte. And do a coat of that over it, and then it's 30 seconds again. So, generous amount, like that. And if you want, you know, I only did one coat, but if you want, you know, some people like it better if they have 2 coats on the mat. So hopefully you can, there we go. We're just going to put that in here. So let's get this out of the way, put that in there, let that dry. And then I'm going to show you what we did on, I'm going to show you the other ones that I finished and the variations. So these are the bigger ones. And so on this here is with the regular polish. And I think it looks really cool. It almost looks like rice paper. And that was with the regular polish. And I will put in the information box, you know, for regular polish, the products I used. And then this is when first one I did, and I did it extra milky. And I decided I kind of like it when it's less milky, so that you can see the colors of the flowers and the flowers through it. This one I did just like we did, except that I did a little too much on the dried flowers, and I kind of like it a little simpler looking, I've decided. So this one here, all we need to do is we're just going to take off that inhibition layer with alcohol. This is the one we just finished. And just take that off, no big deal. And of course, if this was regular polish, you wouldn't have to do this, your matte layer. So that's it. There it is. There, it's done. So we're going to add this over here. This is exactly the way I did mine. These here for my Milk Bath Mani. So I hope you like it. Hope it helped you, and have fun doing it. Please like and subscribe and click on the bell icon so you'll get a notice of my next new tutorial, which will be really soon. Thank you. Bye, guys.